Today's video is sponsored by Olight, who sent along the all-new Warrior Mini 2 for me to check out. Now, having had the opportunity to use this for the last couple of weeks, I must say that this is a vast improvement over the original Warrior Mini. So the original Warrior Mini has been pretty well documented, had its fair share of issues wherein the flashlight could turn on intermittently. Now, to Olight's great credit, once they realized there was a problem with that flashlight, they took steps to either refund customers who wanted to return their flashlight, or they offered a fix for it, a temporary fix, basically. More of a band-aid, because they didn't really fix the flashlight, they just added a way so that it wouldn't come on intermittently, wherein they would put a silicone cap over the tail cap of this flashlight to prevent that from happening. Now, because the Warrior Mini didn't have a built-in proximity sensor, what would happen is these would come on in their high mode, and if you had this in the pocket, LEDs, just the nature of an LED flashlight, especially in their high modes, and this one, its high mode is 1500 lumens, would heat up very, very rapidly and could cause the flashlight, damage to the flashlight, or damage to the user if you have a flashlight that's turned on in its high mode next to your, against you for that period of time. So the Olight Warrior Mini 2, though, they have gone above and beyond to fix these issues, and we're going to get into all of that here in just a little bit. First of all, let's show you what all it comes with. You get the flashlight itself. It's going to come with a much longer pocket clip. It also includes another clip down here with a little ring so that you can attach it in several different ways. Now, with that, they have a little Olight carabiner, a little lightweight carabiner, so that you could attach that to a pack or any number of ways that you can carry this. It comes included with the 18650 3500 milliamp 3.6 volt battery, as well as their magnetic charging cable. And with this flashlight, they include a pretty nice rubberized lanyard too, though I don't really use lanyards very often on flashlights or on knives. This is actually a very, very nice lanyard they sent along with this. So this one is going to carry an IPX8 rating, so it's going to be waterproof, and it's going to have a drop rating of 1.5 meters. Now, let's get through the specs real quick, and then I'll walk you through how the user interface of this works, and then we'll show you some night shots of the all-new Warrior Mini 2. So let's put the flashlight back together now. We're just going to slip the battery into the body of the flashlight, and you notice that it doesn't have a removable tail cap. It unscrews at the top of the body, and then from there it's just simply screw it in, and you are locked in place. Now, the styling on this is pretty similar to what the original was, but this is going to be quite a bit longer. I'm going to go ahead and pull the original in here real quick so we can set them side by side. You get an idea of the overall length. Some of the things that have changed. You'll notice that the pocket clip on here is much, much larger. And this one has the ability, the new one has the ability to reverse the pocket clip by taking off this clip so that you can carry this in a bezel down orientation. That's one thing that a lot of people complained about with the first version that they didn't include. Well, they have included it in this version. Still going to come with the magnetic charging tail cap as well, and the side buttons, none of that has changed. Now, with the reflectors, this one had a TIR optic lens. This one's going to come with a reflector included. It also includes a proximity sensor. You notice that the strike bezel on there has changed a little bit as well. This one I'm okay with. I'm really not a big fan of these aggressive strike bezels on flashlights. This one's pretty subtle though, and I like it okay. Now, for the overall length on the Olight Warrior Mini 2, it's going to come in at 118 millimeters or 4.65 inches, so basically 4 5/8 of an inch. It's going to be on the bezel, it's going to be just right at an inch or 25 millimeters. So it's just a tick under an inch in overall diameter. They call it out as 25 millimeters or 0.98 inches. Weight on this one with the battery included is going to be 122 grams or 4.3 ounces. Okay, so let's go through the user interface, and not really much has changed with that. The user interface, and that's one of the things I liked about the original, is identical to what the original Warrior Mini was. Okay, let's run through the user interface of this flashlight, which is something that I like very much with Olight flashlights. Now, some people will like a more simplified user interface. I actually think that the one on the user interface that comes with Olights is pretty intuitive. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to long press the side button to turn it on. That's going to come into our moonlight mode. Now, the moonlight mode is 1 lumen. It's going to have a 45-day runtime. And then if we long press once we're there, we'll be into our low mode. That's going to be 15 lumens for 164 hours of runtime and 19 meters of throw. And then if we long press again, that's going to get us into our medium mode, 120 lumens, 19 hours of runtime, and 57 meters of throw. And one more time will get us into our high mode. High mode on this one has a step down. So it's going to start out on high mode at 500 lumens. Then it's going to step down after 218 minutes of run time on that. It's going to step down to 200 lumens for an additional 55 minutes of runtime. Now at 500 lumens, it's going to be out there at 117 meters of throw. And then if you long press again, it will cycle back down, but it will drop off the moonlight, and you can continue to cycle through low, medium, and high, those 3 settings. Now to access your turbo mode from the side button, you want to double click. So if we double click that in, now this is 1750 lumens, and it's going to have a 4-minute runtime for its overheat protection, and then it's going to drop down to 500 lumens for 206 minutes, of runtime, and then it'll drop down one more time to 200 lumens at 40 minutes of runtime. Now the throw on this is much improved over the original Warrior Mini, where the Warrior Mini was 1500 lumens and 190 meters of throw on its turbo. This one is 1750 with 220 meters of throw. So it gets out there quite a bit further. And it also has the built-in proximity sensor. So if it notates an obstruction in front of it, you notice how the flashlight will kick down, so it will prevent accidentally burning yourself or getting injured by this flashlight. That's a major improvement over the original Warrior Mini. Now there is a lockout mode on this as well. To access the lockout mode, what you want to do is you're going to long press. That's going to take you into your moonlight, and you just continue to hold it until the moonlight mode goes off, and now we are locked out. To get out of lockout, just long press it until your moonlight mode comes on, and then you can cycle through the rest of the modes. Now on your tail switch, there's 2 ways to configure it. So you have, let me just, I think I got set up in my second mode. So I'm going to put it in the first mode. Pardon me. So you can half press it quickly and release, and that's going to get you into your medium mode. That's 120 lumens. And if you long press it, or you full press it and release, that's going to get you into your turbo mode. And again, all the proximity sensor and everything still works with that as well. Now, you can do that as a constant on, or you can do it as a temporary. So if I half press it momentary, you see that flashlight's on, and then as soon as I release it, because I'm doing a long press, it will cut off. The same is true of the turbo mode. If I long press it, and then when I release it, it will come off. So you can either set it to hold, or you can set it to be a temporary. Now to switch between the 2 modes, so that one was a medium and a turbo. You can configure it so that the tail switch operates as a turbo and then a strobe mode. And I forgot to tell you on the side button, that's the strobe mode is accessible from there as well with a triple click. So a little bit of a strobe warning, 1, 2, and 3, and you have strobe from the side button as well. So we're going to configure this one now so that instead of going into the medium and turbo, it's going to go turbo to strobe. To do that, you want to click the tail cap and then click the side button. And now we've switched modes. So now when we half press it, we're going to be in turbo, and when full press it, we'll be in our strobe. Now this one does not have that temporary setting, so you have, or the constant on setting. So once you're in the second configuration, it is only accessible through long presses or a temporary mode. So as we go through some of the night shots for the Mini 2, I wanted to bring the Mini back in so you can see the size comparison. Now, the Mini 2 is going to come out in a couple different colors. They're going to have the black version. They're also going to have a desert tan. Now those are going to be 25% off during this flash sale at $67.46. You can also bundle those with the newly released i3T EOS Mountain Sky version for $71.44. That's 35% off the two together. Now they're also going to come out with a limited edition Mountain Sky for the Mini 2. You can get that for $71.21. That's 25% off. Or you can bundle it with the i3T EOS Mountain Sky version as well for a bundled price of $74.69. Now, all purchases through Olight during this flash sale are going to include their new solid state tool. Has a couple of different screwdrivers on it, bottle cap lifter, and a wrench set here, as well as a little carabiner to attach it to a pack or whatever you want to attach it to. Now, the newly registered customers for Olight during this sale are going to get a couple of different coupons. It's $10 off of $60 or more, and $15 off of orders over $99. So for newly registered customers, that's a nice little bonus as well. The Warrior Mini 2 is vastly improved over the Warrior Mini. The fact that some of the standout things to me, first of all, I really like the fact that they're including that proximity sensor in there, just from a safety aspect, to keep that flashlight, if it has an obstruction, to tone it down so that it doesn't damage either the flashlight or hurt the end user. I hope to see that in more of their flashlights as we go along. The trade-off is with the Mini 2 is going to be a little heavier, a little longer, a little wider, but it's still pretty comfortable as an EDC carry. The light output is a little better on the Mini 2 on that max range where you get an additional 250 lumens. Because they're using the reflector in the Mini 2, it's going to have incrementally, it's going to have a little bit better throw than what the Warrior Mini was. Now, while the Mini has a more a softer flood pattern where you don't have those defined edges, I still prefer the Mini 2 light output, where you're going to have a brighter hot spot. It's going to be more defined, crisper edges on those hot spots. It doesn't have quite the same flood zone that you get with the Mini, but I find myself preferring the Mini 2's light pattern a little better than that of the Warrior Mini. In a future video, though, that we're gonna go over these two and put them side by side, really test them out against one another so you get a better idea of how they stack up against one another. Now, if you missed the flash sale, you can always get 10% off of any purchases through Olight by entering code TXTOOL, and the links will be in the description box below for those. Now, that's 10% off of any non-promotional items from Olight. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.